What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today we're back at another Kashtira mirror. So having cast on both player sides here. Before we dive into the like, comment, subscribe, post the channel a lot. We're on the road to 10K, trying to hit that before the end of the year. We need you guys to support. We do see the Kashtira on the left end up taking the game 1. And we shall see them dive on in. We do see a copy of Rise, Theosis, and looks like a couple hand traps here. So we normally summon out a copy of Rise Heart, which is not the best. Then we get to banish for cost here. We're going to be banishing a copy of a Birth. As we're making our opponent banish 3 cards face down, and they didn't banish here. We're going to be seeing a Theosis going for the Fenrir, and then Fenrir is going to activate its effects. Yeah, definitely make sure you banish. I mean, in this matchup, it's not that bad, because, you can't really banish those cards face down. It doesn't really matter that much. We're going to go for a copy of the Unicorn here. Then we have Scareclaw Kashtira banishing the Theosis to summon itself out. Then we're going to activate the effect to add the Birth to hand. Then we're going to use that to go into a copy of our Shangira. So choosing not to go for, we are locked into XYZs, therefore we can't do anything else. And we're just going to set 1 and pass here. And it looks like they drew into a copy of Shifter. So they got punished there by not banishing those top 3. And they're going to see they're in a standby phase. We're going to summon out a copy of the Unicorn. We're going to be summoning out the Unicorn of our own. Then we're going to activate the effect. And we do have the Imperm for the Unicorn there. And then we're going to be able to activate the effect to potentially even banish. We are going to be using the Unicorn to rip the extra deck. In this case, you don't really want to be seeing the... you don't want to be banishing it face down, because then you're going to be leaving the monster zones free. So they can't really have anything. It's like all they can really have to stop anything to this is like a Theosis punishment. But if they already had it, then they have it, If they have another cash monster in the hand, they didn't get hand traps, so it's not going to really hurt you. Planet is good as well, because it can search for Rise Heart here. But we still have the copy of Fenrir, so it's like that's just going to be quite problematic. We're going to be seeing Rise summon itself out. And then we're going to be banishing it with the Fenrir here, making sure they don't even get to get those buys on the field. And we have the Theosis anyways, targeting the copy of Unicorn, summoning out the copy of Rise once again. And then we are going to activate the effect of Rise to banish, most likely banishing a copy of the Birth itself. And then we're going to be able to overlay for our copy of the Dark Armed. Activating the effect, detaching the Unicorn to destroy the copy of Birth. Then we're going to be banishing the Theosis. This is going to allow us to add back that copy of the Birth that got banished off the Rise. So we're going to be able to have that Unicorn come back no matter what, which is really good, to be honest. We still have a copy of Valor in the hand as well. We could have potentially saw them hit that Dark Armed with the Valor, but maybe they want to save for something like a copy of Zeus. But we activate the effect once again to destroy that copy of Unicorn. And then we're going to activate our own Birth. Let's just summon out a copy of the Fenrir. So we had the extra monster regardless, and then Fenrir is going to be searching for a copy of the Scareclaw Kashtira. So yeah, we were going to be going through this no matter what. Now all we have to stop is essentially what's going to kill us. Birth's going to summon back out the copy of the Unicorn. Then we're going to go battle phase, attack into the copy of Fenrir. We're going to activate the effect looking at the extra deck. And the extra deck for both these decks are very similar. But the choice of what you're going to hit is what's really going to be showing like the skill here. We're going to be hitting the Typhon there because we are going to be most likely going into our extra deck once again. And they're going to go Fenrir, attack, banish to face down. And we're just left with a Veiler alongside a copy of the Unicorn in hand. And our opponent kind of having free reign here. They're going to go Scareclaw, banish to summon. And then they can just go into a copy of Shang. Shang is going to be able to bring out and pop additional card. Well, I guess pop when they really want to. They have the effect of Fenrir, so they're going to be able to banish 2 cards and pop. Well, banish 1 card, pop 1, banish 1 of the extra deck. We do see the copy of Unicorn being special summoned out here, and it's going to be quite difficult for them to be able to play through this. They're going to be able to search for a copy of Birth. This will allow them to kind of play through it, but it kind of just makes it so that you just don't want to activate the effect of the Fenrir right away. I guess you can activate Fenrir right away, but you're not going to activate the Unicorn because then Unicorn will be able to trigger, and then you can just destroy like the Birth as well. So Fenrir's going to be banishing it face down here. And then we're going to activate the Birth. And then we're going to be banishing with our Birth's going to be banishing because we activated Birth, which can then trigger the copy of the whatever it's called, the Shang, and then Shang, since Shang triggered, we can then trigger the field spell, which then can destroy the Birth, and then of course they're left on 1 card, and that's going to be a Veiler, so it's not going to do anything for them. So we're going to be moving on to game 2 with the player on the left choosing to go first once again, most likely. The Kashtira matchups, like sometimes you just want to see all engine, and other times you want to see non-engine. Talents is a really good card in the mirror. But if you're able to flip up like an anti-spell, it's not going to make any difference, which is really cool. So if you have like 1 or 2 hand traps, it does hurt the cash board. But if you have like the low impact hand traps, like even Imperm and Veiler, yes, they're not going to remove the threat on the field. So they can just pass, and a lot of times, if they end up like getting a Shang plus a Unicorn or a Fenrir, or even both, is like a very, very powerful board that people often underestimate. Which is kind of unfortunate when you see like the powerhouse of the deck. It's kind of crazy that the deck doesn't get carried through Shifter, but it wins a lot of matches due to Shifter. And then you just have these amazing, powerful cards like Unicorn and Fenrir, which are still somehow both at 3, which is kind of wild. A lot of players thought that Fenrir was going to get hits numerous times, and for it to still be free is kind of wild. But we're going to be seeing the player on the left going to be choosing to go first once again, using Desires to start off, drawing 2 additional cards here, and then we're going to be looking through the extra. We do see a 2 Veilers banished. Looks like we also have the Pressured Planet onto the field, and we have a Desires, another one in the hand, which is why I'm not a huge fan of 3, unfortunately. I know a lot of players are a fan of 3 Desires, but 2 always felt like the right ratio to me, and even when it was not hit, back to 3, and we kind of sometimes just play 2 of it anyways. We're going to summon out a copy of the Fenrir, and then it's going to get hit with a copy of Imperm. And we do see a Strike in the hand. We're going to set 1. And that's going to be actually a normal summon of a Mourner, going to a copy of the Baron, most likely here. We activate the Birth. Birth effect can bring back out the copy of Fenrir. And so having Fenrir plus a copy of Baron is actually really good here, alongside a Strike. And they don't even have tact with their talents because no Monster Fests are activated. But having Terraforming going to be activated, searching for a copy of Rasos, is going to be a problem in the long game. Because now we are going to get our cash cards in play. And we do have a Strike to stop this down right away. But if they do get a Shang on the field, it's going to be problematic. We're going to summon out a copy of the Unicorn here. So, interestingly, they chose the Unicorn because of the fact that they have the talents in the hand, as well as it being a better card. And we do strike that, paying 15. And now they have talents in the hand, which is going to do absolutely nothing. They have D-Barrier as well, maybe trying to play crossouts, or wanting to play in a bit of a slower game. You're not going to be able to most likely OTK every single time. So They're just going to scoop it up there, realizing they have lost. You know, we're going to see Fenrir put to attack position, and then, you know, what are they going to do? Call Synchro, and they just negate that with like Imperm or whatever. It doesn't really matter. So they're going to like set Imperm, set D-Barrier, and then their opponent's going to go pass. They're going to draw for turn. They're going to attempt to go Fenrir. You then Imperm, they Baron, or they maybe not be even Baron, and then you chain your D-Barrier calling Synchro. It's like, okay, you just burned two cards. You have a Talent and a Mourner in the hand. You're going to top deck for turn. They still have their copy of Baron. They still have their copy of Fenrir. It's like, okay, well, they're really big chillin' here. And they have drawn for turn. They also have Birth on the field, so it's like, no matter what they do, like they could just link 2 away and then be able to bring back out that copy of Fenrir. It's like, yeah, we're relaxing. You know, having SP and alongside Fenrir is quite good, to be honest. But moving on to Game 3, we are going to be seeing the player on the right choosing to go first this time. And we haven't seen any of those other, like, those side deck cards. We did see the D-Barrier in the going second, potentially for crossouts or just for the for this mirror. But they're going to summon a copy of Fenrir, activating the effect, getting hit with a Imperm. So we can't talent if we have it again. But they get a normal summon, or special summon out the Rise. Oh, my bad. Normal Rise. Banish the Unicorn. So chances are we are going to be seeing a making of a Heat Soul here. So we're going to go for a Dracosack. Dracosack going to be summoning those 2 tokens. And will we see a Nibiru being face down? And we do have the copy of the Phantasme here. And so it's going to get hit with an Ash Blossom. And then I go for a copy of the Heat Soul guy by going into this. Phantasme is very interesting because it does kind of clash with your cards, but at the same time, it is a really good card. So then we go Birth, bring back out the Unicorn here. Then we're going to search for the copy of Theosis. Interesting that we just didn't wait till the activation of the Unicorn there for that copy of Imperm. I'm not too sure why, to be honest. We're going to activate the Theosis, targeting the copy of the Unicorn, bringing out a copy of... Oh, we hit the... Yeah, that's might make sense. My bad. We hit the Fenrir with that copy of Imperm. The Unicorn was banished off the Rise Heart. And so we have a crazy board with a Heat Soul, which is going to be paying another 1,000 to let us draw additional card. A Unicorn as alongside a Fenrir. We have a Mourner and Ash in the... looks like we have Mourner, Ash, Nib. We're going to see a normal summon of a Rise, and we're already not winning just from this. We could see a Typhon being placed, or a Theosis. Theosis is going to be able to activate. And if we have Ash, it's most likely going to get hit with Ash. They do have the Ash, okay. So maybe trying to be worried about the talents. Rise is going to banish. Banishing a Birth. And we are going to be banishing off the Rise this time. Unicorn's going to be activating to rip the extra. And they hit that copy of Typhon because, you know, they could just slap it down right away here. Then we have the Scareclaw Kashtira to banish to summon. Theosis will be able to activate to add back the Birth. And Birth lets you actually normal summon out any level 7, so you can actually go out and normal summon out that Phantasme. But we have already normal summoned out the Rise Heart, which is not going to really do anything this turn for us. So we're looking at their extra deck options here, not being that many, to be honest. We're going to XYZ into a copy of Big Eye. Big Eye, is going to get hit with a Mourner, and they're just thinking here, wow. And then we are going to activate the effect of the Birth, summon back out the Scareclaw. We're going to go Scareclaw attack into the Fenrir. And then we're going to be seeing the Big Eye attack into the Unicorn. We then can go for a Zeus line if we wanted to. Or link away for an SP because the Birth or the Theosis was negated. Then we're going to be seeing the SP banish that copy of the Birth. And we're just going to pass turn on this. We have Ash alongside a Phantasme. And we have Birth on the field. So we are doing pretty good. We banished their Birth. They have a Desires of their own. Plus a monster, which I think was Nib. Desires most likely is going to get hit with that Ash Blossom. Looks like maybe they were thinking of making an SIP or SP, whatever. They're going to go Battle Phase, attack with the Draco Sack into the SB. We're going to see a Decode attack directly here. We're going to then pay 1,000 and we're going to hit that with a Ash. Then we have the Desires. Having that double draw here, will we see them get punished with it? And they drew into another Desires as well, I believe. There's no way we draw double Desires. Oh, Prosperity here, okay. Might as well just be double Desires. It's not going to do anything for us, but I think we have a Birth here. We do see the Birth being activated, and they should chain Birth to this. Birth, banish. We could banish. Oh, we don't have a Kashtira, so we can't even activate the Birth. Wow. Yeah. So we summon out the copy of the Fenrir. Fenrir can search. For a Rise. You make maybe an Appaloosa. Or SP here. Then on some we're going to go Phantasme once again. They could chain. So they're going to chain to summon. So they don't get a draw. And then we are going to be summoning out the Rise here. Then we banish Theosis to add back the Birth. And then we go for a Typhon here because I did touch their extra deck. And they're just going to bounce back that copy of the Phantasme. And they drew a Rise for turn. And this is going to be game there for sure. There's no winning this one, unfortunately, for us. You know, Typhon SP alongside a Fenrir. And then we have Birth. And if Birth gets rid of it, we have another one as well. We're going to then go for the Rise. You know, trying to play it out here. Might as well. They're going to activate the effect, banishing for cost, banishing a copy of Theosis. Theosis will be able to add back the Birth. And we banish the 3 face down. We hit a Planet, a Terraforming, and a Trap. And then we're going to be seeing the Fenrir banish that face down. We do get to add back the Birth, though. Birth can bring back the Scare Club. We haven't seen a Fenrir or a copy of Unicorn yet, so having hard access to it, and they just scoop it up here rather than they just lost. And they had the desires they had the nib the whole time. Having Prosperity is going to be absolutely crazy there. But we do see the player on the right, and I'm taking the game and the match here going into that game 3. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.